Oh, guys, I saw an old man fight over the weekend. I saw this old man fight. There's times in your life, you guys are as old as I am, you'll already know this to be true, but if you don't, well, if you're a young guy, you're in high school, you're coming out of high school, you're in your 20s, something along these lines. You've heard adults tell you, oh, it goes by like that. You got to plan for your future. Time goes so quick, but you don't believe it. It doesn't seem like time's gone fast. It goes faster when you get older. That's why these guys tell you that. That's why everybody tells you that. Everybody tells you that because it's true. It really does feel like that. And I never look in the mirror and see an old man. I never do that. At the gym, my numbers don't change. I'm looking to progress. I'm looking to go harder. All the things that I did when I was in my youth, I don't see it. I don't see this old guy. And I'll look back to when I was so young. I was 30 years old. 30, I hadn't even fought for a world championship yet. I ended up fighting for 5 world championships. I hadn't got any of them at this point. I mean, just to share for you, I was young. That's my point. I'm doing 3 practices a day. Coach is only calling for 8 a week. I'm doing 3 a day. I'm exceeding. I'm doing this. I'm feeling great. That's my only point to you. When I look back now at 46, I look back at 30, I look at how young I was. And the day I turned 30, Deb Nolan gave me a birthday card. It was in my box. I went, opened it up. His birthday card said, "You're 30. Happy birthday from Deb." A coworker named Beth saw it over my shoulder. Beth saw it. She goes, "Oh my God, you're 30?" Meaning how old I was. She was 26, right? Now she's 42 years old. So, I mean, I don't know this. She teased me. And I felt I was embarrassed. Yeah, I'm 30, yeah. And, I mean, now I look back, I just think how young 30 is. That's my only point to you. What I think is so young right now, at the time I was there, somebody else laughed and teased me for being that old. And when I tell you I don't see the age, I just don't see it yet. I shared a locker room many, many years ago with a kid. He was very nice, and he didn't speak a lot of English, and we couldn't talk about much, but there was a respect there, and I appreciated that time in that locker room with him. And that young kid is who I saw fight over the weekend and looked like a little old man. His name is Jose Aldo. And for me to tell you that I saw an old man fight and it was Jose Aldo, you got to understand from my perspective, because the last time and the only time I've ever been with him, I remember seeing the one thing I thought is there's a kid. He was 24 years old at the time. He was beating everybody up in the WEC. He was rolling over to the UFC. They anointed him champion, right? I mean, this guy's got the world right where he wants it. And he was a young kid. I remember thinking that, though. Wow, young. Look at it. Look at him. 24, and he's already the champion. Wow. What a great job. Now I see him, and there's this little man fighting on TV. And that little man was one hell of a fighter, by the way. And I've coached kids from the time I got out of college to now. So now those kids, these little boys that I was coaching, that if their mom or dad didn't come on time, I'd have to give a ride home because they can't drive. These little boys are now, they're inviting me to their wedding. Or I'll go back to the restroom, and those little boys that I coach are bringing their kids in to be coached by me. And there's just things in life that will happen where you go, wow, I must be old. I mean, time must have gone by. And Jose Aldo is one of these spots. Now, his skills were there. He looked fantastic. Jose Aldo is a fantastic boxer. If this is about experience and this is bucket list and you want to squeeze every drop out of that career as you can, man, I respect that so much. And if you're smart enough and you're hardworking enough and you got a good enough team around you that you can go and do that, you can stay in shape, you can do what you love, and you can rack up wins at this point. But come on, man, you win. You win. I am not teasing you. I'm just sharing for you. When I turned, I got an alert to my phone. And when I clicked on the alert and it opens up and I got this old man is in. He was out there, old man in it. Boy, he was digging to the body. It looked like Jose Aldo. You know, Jose can do that 1, 2, and then that 3 to the body. He looked great. I'm not questioning any of that. I'm good with it all. And it's even a thing of celebration. If it's about pursuing a goal. If it's about making good choices, because that lifestyle will force you into good choices, right? If it's about being healthy, if it's about competing, it's about I love this, it's about I have a passion, it's about I'm enjoying it. I am in. I fear that it's about popularity and eventual a big payday. I fear. I don't know that. I fear that. And that simply isn't going to happen. That has never happened for an MMA guy gone boxer. And I know you think it did. I know you even think you saw it. I know you think you've been told it. It's never happened. We've never had a meaningful MMA guy go over to boxing and quote unquote make it. And for any of you whose memory tells you that Conor McGregor did that, no, he did not. Conor McGregor was not a meaningful MMA guy who went over into boxing. He was an MMA star who boxed. There is a tremendous difference from that one-off unicorn of a situation. And when I tell you that I fear it, I do fear it because I know the people that are in that sport. And you will start out life and you will have scumbags all around you being like little pariahs trying to leech something off. And when you make it and you're making the big money and you're driving the fancy car, you're in the fancy suit and you're having the big expensive dinner that this guy had set up. That business meeting, just so you know, that's the exact same scumbag you were used to when you were poor. He's just in a nicer suit. Instead of trying to milk you for $10 or $15 that he's never going to pay back, he will ask you for $200,000 and $300,000 that he's never going to pay back. If Jose's having fun, man, he's got my support. There's a reason I clicked on that. There's a reason I set my phone to give me alerts so that I can see his fight, so that I can support him. I can throw my money down and pitch into this thing. I'm very positive towards Jose. I do worry when guys are getting taken advantage of. If there's a boxing guy anywhere that told Jose, I got that big fight, I got that McGregor-Mayweather fight, I might even be able to get you Mayweather, I'm in talks for it now. Hey, I need you to fight on this card, and I'm going to need about 4 or 5 of these. You're not really going to get anything, but it's going to build, and we're going to get to this. By God, that's what I'm going to do. If the conversation went anything like that, I mean, because you guys even imagine, you guys know the fight promoters that can change your life and make you rich. You know them. They show their face. They talk to you. The boxing guy who can change your life and make you rich. He's got the great idea. Your match with Floyd is coming up. He is dead silent. Nobody's ever heard of him, and nobody ever will. And I don't mean because he's unpopular. He's smart enough at what he's doing to stay under covers. If he comes out and he's loud about it and he gets caught being a thief like Don King, he'll be out of the business. Like Don King. But if he can get a hold of you, he can buy you a couple of steak dinners. He can go get 4 or 5 fights out of you at the local club with a promise of this great big one down the road. We've almost got Floyd to say yes. Then when it's time to do that promise, he's already collected on these 5 where there was an ROI and he got you. And then he puts it all on Floyd. Goddamn Floyd. Lied to me. Says he's going to go rematch Pacquiao. People told me he was going to be fighting you. Damn it. You know what we do? We come back to Floyd, but you know what we do before we that? We go sign up for a couple of fights down here on the local internet feed. That's the business. That's how the business goes. Sooner or later, you lose one of those local fights. Now I don't even have to blame it on Floyd. I just blame it on you. Hey, man, I can't put you in a slap. I mean, but that's the business. It's just a big lie. It's a big lie from a guy that the world's never heard of, and you think you found the secret guy. MMA guys go over to boxing. No, they don't. Never. It has never happened. There has never been a meaningful MMA guy that's gone to boxing and made more in boxing, just so you know. It's just about having a good time, exercise, squeezing that, staying involved in a sport, man. I'll keep those alerts coming. I will pay for it every time. I will support Jose Aldo every time. If somebody somewhere has promised him a pot of gold at the end of this journey, It's a lie.